Hello everyone, welcome to Principles of Communication System lecture series. In this lecture video, we are going to discuss about some numerical problems on sampling process and pulse amplitude modulation. Previous lecture video, we discussed about sampling process. In sampling process, it converts the continuous signals into discrete event. Let's consider one specific example. So an analog signal is expressed by the equation x of t is equal to 3 cos 50 pi into t plus 10 sin 300 pi into t plus cos 100 pi into t. So we have three signals. This is the first signal and this is the second signal and this is the third signal. Calculate the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval for this signal. So they are given x of t is equal to 3 cos 50 pi t plus 10 sin 300 pi t plus cos 100 pi t. So this is the equation number 1. Compare equation 1 with the standard equation. So we know that x of t is equal to 3 cos omega 1 into t plus 10 sin omega 2 into t plus cos omega 3 into t. So in first interval frequency is omega 1 and second interval frequency is omega 2 and third interval frequency is omega 3 and amplitude is 3, 10 and unit value it's equal to 1. So then computing omega 1, omega 2 and omega 3. So omega 1 is equal to 50 pi is equal, we know that omega is equal to 2 pi f and omega 1 is equal to 2 pi f1 is equal to 50 pi. So our intention is to find out the f1. So simply calculate this. F1 is equal to 25 hertz. So similarly we have to find out the omega 2 and omega 3. So omega 2 is equal to 300 pi. So it's equal to 2 pi f2 is equal to 300 pi and f2 is equal to 150 hertz and omega 3 is equal to 100 pi. It's equal to omega, it's equal to 2 pi f and omega 3 is equal to 2 pi f3 is equal to 100 pi and f3 is equal to 50 hertz. So we have three frequencies. F1 is equal to 25 hertz and f2 is equal to 150 hertz and f3 is equal to 50 hertz. Using this frequency, we have to find out the Nyquist rate and Nyquist time interval. So we know that f maximum is equal to maximum of available frequency. Here frequencies are f1, f2 and f3. So out of 3, the maximum frequency is 150 hertz. So f1 is 25 hertz and f3 is 50 hertz. So here fm or modulating frequency is equal to maximum of f1, f2 and f3. Here maximum frequency is 150 hertz. Now we have to find out the Nyquist rate. So sampling process or sampling theorem says sampling frequency is equal to 2 into fm. So it's equal to 2 into fm. So fm is the modulating signal frequency, it's equal to 150 hertz. So Nyquist rate is equal to 300 hertz. So after calculating Nyquist rate, so we have to find out the Nyquist interval. So interval with respect to time. So t sampling time is equal to 1 divided by fs. We know that time is inversely proportional to frequency. So we know the sampling frequency is equal to 300 hertz. By using this, we have to find out the time interval. So time Ts is equal to 1 divided by Fs. So we know that Fs is equal to 300 Hz. It's equal to 1 divided by 300 Hz. Calculate this. So we get interval is equal to 3.3 millisecond. The second example is an signal is expressed by the equation x of t is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi cos 4000 pi t into cos 1000 pi t. Calculate the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval for this signal. They are given x of t is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi cos 4000 pi t into cos 1000 pi t. So we know that cos A cos B is equal to 1 divided by 2 cos A minus B plus cos A plus B. So this is the given equation. The last term is in the form of cos A and cos B. Here A is equal to 4000 pi t and B is equal to 1000 pi t. Just to expand the given equation by using this trigonometric function. So therefore x of t is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi into cos A minus B. So A is equal to 4000 pi t and B is equal to 1000 pi t. It's equal to 4000 pi minus 1000 pi into t plus cos 4000 pi plus 1000 pi into t. So that is x of t is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi into cos omega 1 into t plus cos omega 2 into t. Now we have to find out the omega 1 and omega 2 value. Just to compare cos omega 1 t with cos 4000 pi t minus 1000 pi t and cos omega 2 is equal to 4000 pi plus 1000 pi into t. So just after comparing this, so we get omega 1 and omega 2. So omega 1 is equal to 3000 pi. So omega 1 is equal to 2 pi f1 is equal to 3000 pi. So f1 is equal to 1500 hertz. So similarly we have to find out the omega 2 value. So omega 2 is equal to 5000 pi and omega 2 is equal to 2 pi f2 is equal to 5000 pi and f2 is equal to 2500 hertz. Therefore, F maximum is equal to maximum of F1 and F2. So we have two frequencies. F1 is equal to 1500 Hz and F2 is equal to 2500 Hz. So here F maximum value is equal to 2500 Hz. F maximum is equal to 2500 Hz. Using this frequency, we have to find out the Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. So rate our sampling frequency, we know that sampling frequency Fs is equal to 2 into Fm. So Fm is equal to 2500. So 2 into 2500 it's equal to 5000 Hz. So 5000 Hz is equal to Nyquist rate. Now we have to find out the interval. The time interval is equal to t is equal to 1 divided by Fs is equal to 1 divided by 5000 Hz. So it's equal to 0.2 millisecond. Pulse amplitude modulation is one of the digital modulation technique. In pulse amplitude modulation technique, the amplitude of the pulse carrier is varies, which is proportional to the instantaneous amplitude of the message signal. The pulse amplitude modulated signal will follow the amplitude of the original signal as the signal traces out the path of the whole wave. In natural, the pulse amplitude modulation, a signal sampled at Nyquist rate can be reconstructed by passing it through an efficient low-pass filter with exact cutoff frequencies. The following figure is explain the pulse amplitude modulation. Let's consider one modulating signal. So this is the modulating signal is continuously varying with respect to time t. and this is the carrier signal. The carrier signal is rectangular pulse train. So in pulse amplitude modulation, rectangular pulse train is multiplied with the modulating signal. So and this is the resulting output. So this is the pulse amplitude modulated signal. So this is the first interval, and this is the amplitude level of the pulse train. So this interval is multiplied with the modulating signal. So this is the amplitude level of the modulating signal, and this is the resulting level, and this is the resulting pulse, and this is the second interval, and amplitude level is, so this is the amplitude level of the signal, and resulting, this is the resulting amplitude level. Similarly for third interval, fourth interval, and nth interval. So in pulse amplitude modulation technique, carrier signal or rectangular pulse is multiplied with the modulating signal, gives the pulse amplitude modulated signal. So this is the resulting waveform. In pulse amplitude modulated signal is passed through a low pass filter, it can't recover the signal without distortion. Hence, to avoid this noise, so we use the flat top sampling. The flat top pulse amplitude modulation signal is shown in this following figure. So this is the flat top pulse amplitude modulation. Flat top sampling is the process in which the sampled signal can be represented in pulses for which the amplitude of the signal can't be changed with respect to the analog signal to be sampled. The tops of the amplitude remains flat. This process is simplifies the circuit design. So this is the flat tap amplitude, or in flat tap pulse amplitude modulation, the rectangular pulse amplitude levels are constant or flat. So for example, this is the first interval, this is the amplitude level. So here amplitude levels are flat, and second interval is amplitude level is flat, and third interval is amplitude level is flat. In natural pulse amplitude modulation, so amplitude level is varying according with respect to modulating signal. In flat tap sampling, amplitude levels is constant. In pulse amplitude modulation, pulse duration is constant. It is same as the flat tap of the samples. So this is the flat tap sample here, and pulse duration is constant. So this is the pulse duration, one cycle duration. The durations are constant. For example, this duration is equal to 0.1 millisecond, and this is the second signal, and second signal duration is equal to 0.2 millisecond. So pulse durations are constant. It is same as the flat tap samples. So in pulse amplitude modulation, it requires wide band of frequency to transmit. So let m of t be the carrier signal or rectangular train of the pulses, then the pulse amplitude modulated wave is s of t. So this is the s of t signal. So rectangular pulse is the PIM modulated signal, and this is the carrier signal. Message signal is the m of t is the carrier signal. So s of t is the modulated signal. The mathematical equations for s of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to infinity m into nts into h t minus nts, where ts is the sampled period. So this is the sampled period, and m into nts is the sample value of m of t is obtained at time t is equal to nts. So here h of t minus nts, so here we have to find out the t value. So t is t minus nts is equal to 0. So t is equal to n into ts. So coming to detection of pulse amplitude modulated signal, the original message signal m of t is obtained by passing PAM signal to the reconstructed filter is followed by equalizer. So this is the pulse amplitude modulation detector block diagram. It consists of reconstruction filter and equalizer. So pulse amplitude modulation signal S of t is applied to reconstruction filter. Output of the reconstruction filter is connected to equalizer. Across the equalizer we receive the message signals. Message signal is M of t and pulse amplitude modulated signal is S of t. So these are some limitations of the pulse amplitude modulation. The first limitation is the transmission of either naturally or instantaneously sampled PAM over a channel required a very wide frequency response. Second limitation is the bandwidth required is much larger than that of the original analog signal. The third limitation is the noise performance of the PAM system can never be better than achieved by transmitting the analog signals directly. The fourth one is pulse amplitude modulation is not very good for long distance transmission. Thank you.